Pro tip.
So leverage is going to be your key point to success, okay? And what I mean by that is you're already coming into the situation without, financial leverage or giving up the end, okay, we all know what they're wanting at the end. We're never giving that. So leverage is your key component for success. Maintaining that can be a tad bit tricky if you don't know the formula to it. So I have a Zoom class where I talk about leverage and how to maintain it more in detail, but that's for another video. So when you're asking for something and you don't necessarily, okay, let's talk about reality, because again, we're working in an alternate reality. We're creating another reality. That is the experience. That is the paid experience that, they're chasing. So the leverage that you're going to use is the cat and mouse game. Okay. When you're asking for something, it is to them, getting them one step closer to what they want, because everybody has, desires that they're trying to obtain just like you. But if you're going to be good at your job, you never cash in on yours. That's just the way that it is. So to do that, you have to maintain leverage. I do that by when I'm asking for something. Okay, so timing is a huge thing. You want to time it to where, it's not a crisis situation. I've talked to y'all before about things being a crisis, and you just don't want to appear like you're constantly in crisis. That's why, full circle, I be telling y'all to, from the beginning, make sure that you're establishing that you are valuable. Your time is valuable. Your thoughts are valuable. Everything about you is top tier valuable, cannot be found anywhere else. So after you establish that from jump, because however you start your whatever you start your value at, you don't go up. You know what I'm saying? You got to start at the pace that you want to be at. When you are positioning yourself, to ask for something, okay, let's just say, for example, you're wanting $5,000, okay? There has to be there doesn't have to be, but typically you're going to have more success if there is a reason for it. You feel me? So whatever your reason is, make it mutually beneficial. Okay, let's scratch the $5,000. Let's talk about a car. You want a car, you want a new car, whatever the case is. The car is going to be your leverage point. Everything that you're asking for, push it into the direction of a necessity. It is essential for you to have this for the betterment of his experience. Does that make sense? So I need a car. Say you have one, you want a more reliable one or whatever, because it, number one, lets you know that you're a priority to him, that it makes you feel as though you're a priority. Number two, this is where the proposition becomes mutually beneficial. If I have a reliable car, not only do I feel like I'm more of a priority to you, but I will be able to see you more regularly because I have reliable transportation. I will also be able to, get a job or whatever. This is just an example of ways to position yourself to where it makes sense to him. The investment makes sense to him. You can say, I will have, means to support myself and sustain myself that will alleviate the stress for you. So now you have leveraged yourself in a situation where it is beneficial to him. It makes him feel as though he is helping you in the long run, that is helping himself. And you can tell him, these things are a love language for me. You letting me know that you will help me get myself in a better position makes me more attracted to you, makes me feel safer with you, makes me feel as though I'm a priority. In turn, I can be a better woman for you. Does that make sense? So, like I said, I have a Zoom class that I go into much more detail about. Like, there's different topics in the classes. Like, there's one for leverage. There's one for, how to have these conversations, how to handle, stressful conversations, and how to maintain the leverage, because you're going to go through rocky points where you lose it and you have to gain it back. So, if any of that makes sense, I hope it does, and I hope that it helps, kind of sprinkle a little bit more onto that sauce of how you're going to make unlogical things make sense. You feel me?